Hi, this is Personal SEO teaches how to edit a Divi website, even if the website is a single landing page. There are a couple of things that I'm just going to start with, and the assumption is that you know how to do this. So go to your website.com/wp-admin and log into your website. You need to know what your username and password are to do that. Okay, there are a couple of quick things with editing that you may or may not need to do, and I'll just go over them fairly quickly. The very first thing that I would do is go to Divi and then go to Theme Options, and then let that load, and then go to Builder, and then go to Advanced. If you don't use Project, you could just actually disable that while that's there. That's just on by default. I might as well just remove it if it's never used. Go to Advanced, and then you have static file generation. If this is enabled, disable it for now, and then come back and remind yourself to enable it. I disabled it and didn't come back, so my bad. The next thing that you want to do is experience caching. If you have any caching plugins installed while you're editing, you want to turn them off. So I'm just going to plugins, install plugins, and looking at any of the caching plugins, and there are none here. Security plugins can also be an avenue of caching, but most of the time it's pretty good. Okay, so let's get into editing the website. If you look at the website, I tend to, for ease of use, hover over the name of the website, right click, and then open in a new tab. Therefore, I can see what is live and what is not, and I tend to keep that tab open entirely. The next thing with your editing and you are not seeing the changes, then go ahead and copy the domain and then choose incognito window and then paste the domain in. And therefore you will now have a uncached version of the website. And to confirm that one more time, you can click on the three dots, go to more tools, go to developer tools, then click on network and choose the disable cache. Now you're really looking at what's live. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this and then go back to the website we're editing. Okay, so if you notice on this page that when you click about it, this uses jump links to move around the whole entire website. So this website consists of just 2 pages, I believe. So just the global offices page, everything else is a jump link on the home page. So we're only editing one page here. So go to, in the back end, go to the dashboard. Again, this is where you log in. When you log in the first time in the WordPress, you'll go all to the dashboard every single time, and then you can start clicking and going anywhere you want. So go to pages and then all pages. And then you see the other pages that are listed here. If you are not using these pages like CVS import, just click on quick edit and then choose draft. Same thing, global reach is a page. There's the home page. That's the old home page, so quick edit and then draft. And drafting doesn't delete anything, it just removes it out of the search engine. Again, quick edit, draft. And if you're working on something and I particularly draft something that you're working on, I'm not deleting it, I'm just making sure that it's just in draft mode. Okay, so all of these items are now drafted. So everything is drafted except for the global reach page that says Divi. I know it's a little confusing, and then the welcome page that says Divi as well. So I'm going to click edit, and there are a couple of different ways that you can edit this page. I'll go over both of them so that you can kind of understand how this platform works. Divi is built on sections, rows, and then content. So you'll see section, for example, section, row, and then content. When you click on your home page, this whole top section would be this purple section with the full width slider. So pretty simple and straightforward. To edit this section, you would just click on the gear, and then you would edit each additional slide individually, and then you can also choose the elements as well. So you could turn all of this on and off. It's fairly easy to do. Divi makes your website into a bunch of forms that you fill out that you can then just adjust anything that you want. So if you're just adjusting the content on the slider, you would click the gear here. Then on the first slide, you would click on this gear, and then here are the content of the slide. For example, if you want to be a little more organized, you can copy the content of the first slide, go down to admin label, and then paste that in there. Then what's going to happen is that you will know which slide you're talking about. Due to speed and how quickly I put the site up, I did not create all the admin labels, but you can do this fairly easy just by, honestly, you could just do the first sentence and then change the admin label each time. So the next time you come back, you can have a better understanding of what you're looking at, just more organized. So I'll just do this real quick. So just to the comma. Okay, so that's how that particular section works, the slider works. The text under the row, which is just the About Us section, this is done again by clicking on the gear, and then you could just edit this section any way that you want. Same thing with the image and the text, image and text. So that's how you edit. Everything is done by the gear, and you click the gear. Now you can actually click and hold and drag stuff around if you want to. And again, the sky's kind of the limit with this kind of editing. But this is the entire site. And it, again, just sections, rows, and columns. At any point in time, you could change any column by clicking any row into multiple columns. Again, it's pretty easy. Once you have the edits done, the thing that you need to do is click on Update. And that will actually update the website. If you do not click on the Update button, then the site will not update, and it gets a little frustrating because there's a lot of checkboxes and save buttons inside of Divi. That doesn't do jack to update the page. You have to click on the Update button. Now that we've built this on the back end, and you kind of get the idea of how there are sections, and in sections there are how many rows there are, and under that should be columns instead of rows, but inside of that there is the actual text. We'll build it on the front end so that you could see the big difference between the two. Okay, so a building on the front end. Now this works in conjunction with hovering. So if you remember, actually I'll go back to edit a tab. When this loads, you'll have the purple full width section. When you hover over the content that you could change, it's purple and then gray. So I'm just trying to give you a visual idea between the differences of the front end and the back end. You can edit it either way. It's just a way to do that. Same thing with About Us. The blue section, which is this whole section right here, the blue section, and then the green rows, and then the gray content. So now we have one section with multiple rows. So here's this row and this content, and this row and this content. Then an entire row with more content. And then again, we divide the pictures up again. Here are some interesting items that you need to be aware of. When the mouse turns into that symbol, which I'm not going to, actually I could just, you're going to increase the spacing between the items. You could do it at the top and the bottom of actually any item. If you go to the row section, the blue section, you could do the same thing. You can increase the spacing between each item as you go. So as you do this, you can kind of see that I'm just clicking and dragging. So that's important to know, that you can adjust the width and height. It's also important to know that you're only doing this on the desktop version of the website. To do this on the mobile version of the website, I'm just going to click in the gray area here. You click on the gear, go to Design, and then go to Sizing. This will be the width of how long it is and the height of how it is, but most of the time you're going to be editing it in spacing. So the top has a 22 pad, and again you could do this right here, and you can actually see it move behind. And then the same thing with the bottom, and the same thing with the left and the right. You could do this ad nauseum if you want. The one thing to note, however, is that when you hover over padding, you will see the phone symbol. You can click on the phone symbol, and now you can edit the padding per each device. And when you click on it, you will see that the site behind the window adjusts. And by the way, you can click and hold and move this window around when the mouse in the purple. And now you can adjust the spacing per device. So generally that's desktop, and then this is the tablet view. Most of the time I just kind of let the tablet view slide because there's not a lot of people that surf the web on tablets. And then there's the phone view. And so you can have a different padding variable for every single a different point of view. Same thing on if you hover over, if you go to padding and you click on pointer, then you can you can include padding over a hover effect. So when you hover, then you can automatically adjust the padding. I don't know why you would do that, but that is a cool thing to do. So just know that anytime on most everything, you could adjust the how it looks on a phone, tablet, and computer by hovering over the border width. Sorry, I have something stuck in my throat. That's pretty much it. So if you want to edit, you can click on the gear and edit in here, and it shows up live. Or you can just double click over here and edit the same thing. And the editing is a bit limited inside of this, but it's pretty nice. You can highlight, add in a link, add in the URL. If you did it on the other way, it'd just be a little bit more cleaner in my mind. You can make bullets, depend the bullets, indent, all of that stuff. So it gives you the choice between how you want to edit. The spacing, the same thing that happens in the row that we were, the text field that we were just at. The rows do the same thing. That again, you can click on design, go to spacing, and then there is the mobile option here. You can see in this section, I've actually done that correctly. So the padding changes entirely on a phone than it does on the desktop. And that's just because the phone layout needed a bit of adjustment. And you see on the tablet view, I don't do anything because that's what 1% of the population that uses it. So that's a good example of using the padding. And when it's enabled, you will notice that these items are here. When it is blank, then those items are missing and therefore it is not enabled. To enable it or not enable it, all you have to do is click on it. Pretty straightforward. You can at any time also just click on the arrow symbol and literally drag and drop the content anywhere. One of the major things that people do when they're using Divi is they forget how to save. So if you make your edits and then hit close, it didn't save anything. So you have to click on the 3 dots below and then click on this save icon over here. Now everything is saved, and then we go back, and then that's it. The save to library button isn't going to work. Also, if you like this layout, you can switch to, you can click on this item over here, and it will bring you the same exact layout just on the full width screen, so you could see what you're doing from that point of view. The other thing, and I'm just going to hit update here because I don't want to save that's there. The other thing is that there is revision control. So if I really mess up the website while making this tutorial, I can click on revisions and then hit browse and then see, and then just, I could literally, that was 11 seconds ago. I could go back. Okay, that was 41 seconds ago. I could go back. Oh, that was 6 minutes ago. So we can just revert back to those last changes and then be fine from that moment. However, I didn't make really any large changes, so I think we're fine. So that's how to edit your website in Divi. It's fairly straightforward. Again, this is a one-page website, so there's just a lot of information on the one page. Again, use revision control if everything is messed up, or if not, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to help you. So this is Personal SEO teaches how to edit a Divi website. We're talking about sections, columns, and rows, and how to save the items that you've updated. Thank you for watching and have a good day.